early morning, Roxy Soxy. What the hell is this?
Oh, girl. Good afternoon, but real
Ugh.
fucking early morning for you.
It's like 5. I got up at 5 a.m. because we had a guest who ended up not coming on the show because they had some issues with their computer. So I have been up since 5 a.m. and I wish I got that hour back.
You're like, what I wouldn't do. I think that's like a universal mom thing too. Like to have that extra hour of sleep is
Yes.
like priceless. So like the fact that you had to give it away was like,
I know. And I feel like my entire day is now. I don't know if you feel this way, but like when I don't sleep, I feel like my entire day is screwed up. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like my whole day now, I'm going to just be tired. And I can't stand being tired because like I can't regulate myself when I'm tired. And I think that's the biggest thing when you first have a baby is like everything is so much more emotional because you're so sleep deprived. Like I think I would have been a much better mom in the beginning. Not that I don't think I was, but just like less snappy, less like overwhelmed if I was sleeping.
Yeah, no, 100%. Sleep is gold. It's like right up there with breast milk. You know, it's like the two.
Sleep and breast milk.
Yeah.
I want some breast milk and sleep, but you're not sleeping. How's your sleep going? You're
Well,
not a great sleeper.
No, I am not a great sleeper. So what happened was, we just got back from like Thanksgiving break and we were on the East Coast, right? So it's like 3 hours ahead. And like, so just going there always messes my sleep pattern up even more because it's like, now you're going to bed or where it's early here, but you're waking up there. It's so early here, so it's like everything got turned around. And so now as I've been back, I've been getting so tired by like 7. Like I start getting real tired at 7 p.m. here, but I've been waking up.
Which you kind of love.
Yeah, I do kind of love. I do, but it would be good if I actually took advantage of it and went to sleep at that time.
Yeah.
But then I keep myself awake.
I do that too.
I'm waking up at 5 a.m. here now.
That's amazing. I love that. I wish I was waking up at 5 a.m. with Pepto in my step, Pepto-Bismol in my step. My husband does that. He gets up so early and he's like, he's all peppy. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. Like he comes in at 7 a.m. and he's like, hi, good morning. And I'm like, get out of my face. Like, get out of my face.
Why are they so fucking chipper in the morning? But I think that's
yours gets up early.
Yeah. Oh my God. David doesn't sleep. He can go to bed at like midnight and wake up at 5 and just be like super chippy.
I don't get it. I think it's our hormones. I think women need more sleep. I think that actually did a study that said women need more sleep than men because it's based on their hormones and their regulation. And I don't know, because we're the superior sex.
Clearly, we need our beauty rest. Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to like I'm giving him like the side eye when he walks in and he's like, yeah, he's just so happy. Turns on the music in the morning. There's like a dance party. Usually.
I don't understand morning people. And I did it at TikTok on my Instagram and it was like, which person are you? And it was quite divided actually. It was like 57 and like 43% like either way. But I do think that you are in either camp. Like even if you've trained yourself to become a morning person because you have kids, you either hate it, like you hate getting up and you still have to get up. So I guess you're a morning person if it's like about that word, but it's like, you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy getting up. Like for me, I could stay up till 1, 2, 3 o'clock. Like I love nighttime and I just sit there. And the problem is I start to go into this like when I'm on my phone, I don't know if you do that, and you kind of go into this deep hole of social media and TikTok, because TikTok, it's about keeping you entertained. So you want to keep coming back for more and more. It's that dopamine drip that keeps going. And so I just sit there and I flick and I flick and I flick, and it's kind of scary because hours can go by. You can sit down at 9 o'clock at night, and then by the time you look at your clock again or you look at your phone, it's like midnight. Yeah, like 3 hours on your phone flicking. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can't stand it when that happens to me.
Oh my God, I know. And then like I'll also be sitting down to like maybe watch like a really great movie or a TV show, and I will get sucked into the social media and I find myself rewinding like whatever show I'm like 20 times. I'm like, oh my God, I have to hear that again because I didn't hear it. And it keeps distracting me. And I hate the fact that it definitely pulls my attention away from my little one a lot of the time too.
I know. I thought about that recently. I was just like, I do think that I don't have any addictions. I don't really come from like my brain is set up a different way. I don't have an addictive brain. Like I actually don't want to feel crap. So I stop myself. If I drink after a certain amount of drinks, I stop. Like I'm not into drugs. I've never tried them because I would probably like them or die. That's what I say to myself. It's like, you're either going to really like them and how's that going to help you in your life, or you're just going to die. So I don't really have an addictive brain, but I feel like there's something, there was that, I think it was called The Social Dilemma on Netflix, that talked about like social media and what it's actually doing to our brains, and the fact that the people who program these apps are so smart. Like they know how to get you addicted, and they know how to get your brain like craving and wanting more. And the thing about social media, it is that dopamine rush, right? You're constantly trying to search for it. The problem is you don't really get it because you don't get like a real serving of dopamine like you do when you hug someone, or when you laugh really hard with your partner, or you have sex. That's like dopamine that actually can like stay in your system. The problem is with this type of dopamine is really fast and it's quick, so if it's fast in, it's fast out. So you're constantly searching for it. And I notice like I get very anxious and I get very sort of ADHD. I have problems with my concentration, when I'm on my phone for too long, and then I get snappy and aggressive, and it does take me away from my kids.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a like slippery slope. And then once you start it, like, and they have those timers now on the phones where you can see how much of your time has been spent on social media. And it's like, so many times I look at that thing and I'm like, I'm so bummed out because I'm like, oh, all those hours I could have been spent like doing something else, like spending time with my little one, or like spending time with friends or the husband, or we could be recording podcasts,
I know. But I do think that my business is on my phone. A lot of my business, obviously not the acting stuff, but a lot of my business, my social side, podcasts, all that kind of stuff, self-promotion, all of it. It is on my social media. So it's not like I can, and I said this to a therapist once, I said, it's not like I can just turn my phone off. Like I need to know what's in the zeitgeist. I need to know the sounds that are trending. I need to know, what's doing well, what's not doing well, because it's my business, it's my brand. And it is a lot of people's brand. Social media now is not just social media. It's like, it's how they make their living, through their brands. It's how they sell product. So, it is something that you constantly have to be on, but it's also hard because there is a negative impact mentally.
Yeah, there is. And you know what, too? I just like really realized this, I guess, mostly in this last year, just from being, stuck at home and like looking at it so much more, is that we're actually not really in control of like how things turn out as far as like with work, because it's like we're putting forth these like, especially like sponsored posts and things like that, and the algorithm is such right that it's designed that it's like fucking us up. Like I notice, like I'm like, wait, why did this post get like this amount of engagement, but then like,
because it's about money. So what happens, and this is a fact, if you put out a sponsored post, or if you put anything, which obviously you have to put hashtag ad if you're doing an ad or a partner post or a sponsor post or whatever, to meet those guidelines, which is fine. But what happens is when you do, the algorithm knows that, and then it stops people from seeing that ad, and it stops people from seeing that post, because Instagram and Facebook and all these apps want to make money, which is like, they make so much money. Why do they want to make more? Because they want the brand or you to have to pay money for people to see that post. So the algorithm is changing all the time because it's about money. It's about, they want things that are seen that are going to benefit them and don't benefit you. And sometimes I think like, what does it matter? Like, back in the day when everyone just saw whoever's post, it wasn't like so, it wasn't so specific of how Instagram chooses how you view posts. I like, what does it matter? The companies make so much money. Like, what does it matter if content creators are creating content so people stay on that app? Why can't you let people see that content? Like, why would creators continue to create if no one can see what they create?
It's true.
Like, and it's like, don't you want people to stay on your app? Don't you want creators to entertain people for free so that people stay on your app?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense. And I feel like that's why a lot of people are, I mean, they still have the social media and everything going, but they're like jumping ship in the way of like, starting podcasts or like writing, blogs or Substacks or like trying to do other things because they see like the lack of control that they have like in their business when it comes to social media. And it's so fucked and it's scary. You know, it's like, oh my God, like you think you're putting something out that's going to get seen, you know, as wide as as an audience, but it's just like, it's sort of up to like their control.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
And then how do you feel? I kind of feel two ways about this, but how do you feel that your phone and your watch is listening to you? Like, you know, every time, like if I can mention it right now, and I bet within the next couple days I would get, like, if I mentioned kitty litter, kitty litter, kitty litter, kitty litter, I bet, I don't even have a cat, I'm allergic to them. So I would never buy kitty litter, but I bet you my phone is listening and my watch is listening. At some point, I bet I'll get an ad for kitty litter. Now I'm in two minds about it. One, I'm like, oh, I want my privacy. I want my privacy. But honestly, I don't really have anything to hide. Like, yes, I've got probably a few dark secrets in there somewhere, but I don't really have anything to hide. So do I care that, like, if I'm talking to you about something I'm interested in, like, oh, I want to go to Turks and Caicos, let's just say, right? There's no pandemic. I want to go to Turks and Caicos. And then I get all these ads about these great hotels in Turks and Caicos. Does that make my life easier and better because it's almost just given me what I've asked for? Or do you feel like it's invasive?
I felt like at the beginning when those things were first happening, I kind of let it slide. But recently I changed my settings on my social media to block like those privacy things, because then I think because I watched that documentary, Social Dilemma, and then I started getting kind of freaked out about it. And then it was like the Alexa's in the house too, like listening. So now I just kind of block when it's like not.
So how do you block it?
So there's this button on top where you can not let her listen when you're not engaging with it or when you're not using it.
You can do that on your phone and your watch too?
I don't think you can do it on your phone or your watch, but you can do it on.
So you're still getting it.
Yeah, I guess I'm still getting it. So I blocked it on like Facebook and like, Instagram, on like the social platforms. But I think, I don't know. It's just, I mean, I get that it's also a business on their side. Like they're doing that, but it does feel very invasive to me, Like
it's one thing if you're on your computer and you're typing in kitty litter, right? So you've actually put the words into your computer and then you're now getting ads about kitty litter. That's like, okay, I don't know if that's so confusing or so far out there for people to understand. But when you're speaking it in the privacy of your own home, or even saying it to yourself in the car and you feel like someone's listening to you, I feel like that is more invasive, because you're not, you could be joking. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like if you're, how you joke with your friends or family, or like, like if I killed that like whatever, I don't know, like it's a joke or whatever, and I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, what if like police come to my door because I was making a joke? But you don't know, like you don't know what's really people, like what information is really getting out there about yourself.
100%. You have like no idea. That's the thing. And like, who is it being disseminated to too? It's like, who knows how many people now know about the fact that you like, have a fantasy about the pizza guy, it's like...
I love that word, disseminated. Oh, look at you, accent, dissemination.
Well, I know that I'm going to be getting a lot of dildo ads because, get this, I searched dildos, not dildos, vibrators on my computer.
When did you do that?
I did it.
Isn't it a little? I'm like, isn't it a little early to be dildoing? Like looking up dildos in the morning. But I realized it's much later there for you, so this is the perfect time. It's the afternoon. It's the dildo afternoon time.
It's a dildo afternoon. Well, let me ask you this. Okay, tell me if you think this is a good idea. So
yes, if it's about dildos, yes.
It's a great idea.
I already say yes.
So this. Okay, so this will air after tonight happens, so I can say this. So because there's a surprise. So I am going to like a little kind of holiday get together with just some girls, and they're doing a pink elephant gift giveaway. So what did I decide to do? And they were like, it can be funny, it can be useful, whatever.
Oh my God, I would love. They're expensive.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
They're not cheap. They start at like $100 or so, I've heard.
Totally. So a good holiday gift giving idea, guys. Here it is. I got a vibrator. Get this, that can sync with your phone that your partner can also control.
Okay. Is this my gift? Thank you.
Yeah,
Where the fuck is my gift this year?
Who did I immediately think of when I went to the
well, where's my gifts? I will tell you my address. It's a 4-day shipping. You'll be totally in time for Christmas. Thank you very much for my gift.
Then I'll never see you again because you'll be in your bedroom for the next 3 years. Yep.
Honestly, I don't even have one. It's been so long because I ran out of batteries. And then I'm just like, by the time I'm there, I'm like, am I really going to go up and get the batteries? Like go to my kids' toys and like take the batteries. I'm like, too much of like, it's too much. So I just go screw it. Like I just don't even, I haven't had to have one for so long. The last time I had one, I think my kid ran around the house with it because it's like they find that stuff. So I'm like, no more until they're older.
They're like, what is this? You're like, it's daddy's toy.
Yeah, it's daddy's. Daddy likes it in places that
Totally. So get this one. I don't know if you've heard about this because when I went in there, I had no idea. Vibrators now are rechargeable. They're rechargeable with your phone.
I've worked with a few companies like that. Ooh. Yeah, they're rechargeable. But the problem is like when you lose the rechargeable part, you're screwed. You just have like a plastic nothing that doesn't do anything. So I'm like, I want the charger. Like, to be honest with you, I want to charge. You know what? I just want fucking batteries. Just give me batteries. We can go get batteries anytime you want. If you lose that charger, it's not like it's an iPhone charger that you can just go up the street and get it. Like, it's a whole thing.
It's like, a whole system.
Recharging is a whole thing.
Yes, it is and you better have it ready and recharge by the time you want to use it, right? It's
I know. It's like, yes. And who forward thinks about that? You know what I mean? It's like, you know what, tonight I'm going to do that and I'm going to recharge you don't think about it. You're just there and you're like, oh, fuck, it's dead.
No, exactly.
Who forward thinks that?
It's always dead, like when you want it, you know?
Yeah. But I think that's a great gift. You know what? I hand it to you. I need you to run down like the whole experience of you walking into the sex shop. Because how many, like I bet you haven't, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe you do like every weekend. After, you drop your kid to dance. My question to you is like, have you been into a sex shop recently? Oh, I have a story about that. Number 2, was it weird for you because things have changed like since we've probably gone into one and there's all these new devices? And number 3, did you feel awkward like asking for things? Okay, so here's what happened. Your first question. No, it has been a minute since I have been to a sex shop. It has been a few months. It's been a few years or maybe a decade. Yeah, it is. I had to like look it up. So I'm sure now the ads are going to start rolling because I was like, sex shops near me. So now the ads are going to start rolling. So I found one near me. So I went to it. So I walk in, first of all, like mom zone. I'm like waiting for it to open because of course as a mom, I'm up at the butt crack. It's like, who's this weirdo up at like, and the sex shops also don't open at 9. They open at like 12:30 is the only time you're allowed to go like into a sex shop because you can't want it in the morning. So it's like you're sitting out there like with your little pink bag and like your scrunchy. Totally. Like mom outfit, like yoga pants, it's like the whole thing. Scrunchy so I, like, and your ear pods in. So I like parked the car. Of course, I'm like early. It's still not open. So I'm sitting in my car. No one in the parking. Scrolling. Right. Exactly. No one in the parking. Car? Just me. And then of course, like the bums, like roaming around the street. Yeah, the bums are there. Yeah. The homeless. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like waiting for it to open. So I like walk in. And first of all, I have to say, I noticed this place was pristine. It was so clean. They're beautiful these days. Yeah. I mean, clean. I was expecting, like a dirty little sex shop. Yeah, like a dirty sex shop, like what I was imagining. I'm like, why is it not more dirty? Okay. Yeah. And so bright lights. You're like, no, everyone can see me. Like the PTA moms, like across the road getting coffee, like everything's so bright. Wouldn't that have been a kick if I would have bumped into one of our like school moms there? Oh, I think that happened to my mom once, like 10 years ago or something. She told me, or 10 or 20 years ago. She was like, yeah, I ran into a school mom at a place like that. I love it. So I walked in, the floor's clean enough you could eat on it. And I guess like my delivery, I think I was like feeling kind of awkward because I just sort of barreled in and like the 2 sweet, nice ladies that were working in there, I just was like, so I'm going to this party tonight. I've got some girlfriends. It's like a
giveaway. We're doing like this gift thing.
Yeah, you had to like totally like really tell them what it was like. It's not for me. I don't need it. It's fine. I have things at home we don't need to talk about, but it's for, when you're like overly tell everyone who it's for. It's a gift giving and it's a joke.
I went into the whole like extra information. They were just like, okay. Then they were like, not it. Like, to each other, literally, they were like, not it. You take her.
Yeah.
So then like after I like spilled my, blabbered away, she like takes me back and it was like this whole section and it almost looked like the Apple store.
It's like an Apple.
It's like where the smart bar is, like where all the phones.
I'm like, which sex shop is this? Because I need to pay a visit.
And they have them all out. You can hold them. You can feel them.
I know. And you're like flailing them around. Like
I'm like, honky tonk. See? Ooh, honky tonk cowgirl. Or no, honky tonk.
I love it. I love your sweatshirt. It goes with your pink dildo.
Right. Exactly. So I'm like sitting out there and she's like, oh, feel this one. Like, feel this one. And I'm like trying to test him on my arm. I don't want
to feel it because it's like, this is for a friend.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's not for me. It's not for me. Okay.
Yeah.
It's for this like gift giving.
She's like, you doth protest. Like, we get it. It's for you.
She's like, do you know how many of yous come into this store every day?
Do you know how many people lie and say that?
Totally. So I'm like testing out all these dildos. Of course, my germophobia kicks in too because I'm like, oh god,
who's touched this? Have they come back? Have they been like, no, like when they have the if you're not satisfied, you can bring it back within 24 hours.
Totally. I'm like whipping out the hand sanitizer in between. I'm like, oh god, okay.
Yeah, that's hand sanitizer you should be whipping out.
Totally. Totally. But then she like was showing me the dildos and then she brought me over to this like special display that it was like the partner dildos not dildos. Why do I keep calling them dildos? They're not dildos. They're vibrators. So she brought me over to the special partner vibrator section, was like a whole other section in and of itself. And she was like, these are amazing. These are like technology based. You can like hook them to your phone. They can play music and
oh my god, play music
and movies, soundtracks to movies.
No,
so, like explosions and people yelling.
Well,
totally.
What would your soundtrack to this? I used to just listen to Boys to Men. I'll make love to you. That's like was my. I just put that on repeat. I'll make love to you like you, or I put like on bended knee. Down on bended knee.
I love it. You're like the sweet one. I had like, what was that one? The 9 Inch Nails song. I want to fuck you like an animal.
Oh my god. Yeah, I need to be romanced first, Roxy. I need to feel like I've been romanced.
I need to see it's all roses and chocolates with you.
Well, sometimes. So when you checked out, or were you like, were you shocked by the price?
Yes, I was actually.
They're expensive.
Mortified. They're not cheap, girl.
No,
so expensive. I was like, wait, because I was giving her a certain like price range because that was sort of like, everyone's doing this one price range.
Yeah, so you're like $506.
Like, exactly. She's like, there's like 2 in your price range. I'm like, okay. And
this is this small. It's the size of my finger. This is the one that's $79.95.
Totally. But I couldn't resist because I did pick one up for myself too.
You did.
I did.
And for me.
And for you, of course. We should have matching ones.
Oh, yes. So sweet. Such a close friendship.
We could get them engraved with our names.
Can you do that?
Probably.
You're like, you can do anything these days. Right. Well, I love that story, Roxy. I love your sex shop for your girls story. I was just going to give like, some MAC makeup, but maybe I should.
I'm telling you, a vibrator is where it's at.
You know what? Because people don't look. Yes, they can go and get them or buy them online, but it's not something that you regularly really do for yourself. Like spend that kind of money on yourself, like and kind of wish you did, but you're like, but yeah, it's not that I wasn't into sex toys at all. It's just like I haven't really had the time.
Right. 100%. Because like usually when sexy time comes, it's like spur of the moment, like we got to do this. Like, toys, like digging around for toys is just not time effective.
And it can be a little invasive. You're like, oh, we're doing this. It's like, let me go recharge my battery.
Hold that. Hold
that thought. I need to go recharge my batteries. That's not sexy.
No. But you know what? Sometimes they just have to wait. Sometimes it is. But I am kind of, because we used to do this, but again, like you're saying, there's no time when you become a mom. It's like you're just like, no, it is what it is. But I am excited to bring it back into the bedroom.
Well, we should have another episode.
Totally.
And this is not what we prepared for today, by the way, guys. We were going to talk a lot more esoteric, subjects about women being represented in society, and we're back to sex toys. So that is how and then now I'm like, now that we've talked sex toys, I'm gonna talk about something even more like mundane, is like Christmas tree shopping. Oh my God. I don't know if you've got your Christmas tree. I don't know if you just pull it out from the garage and like do your fakey. But here in Australia, we went Christmas tree shopping and we went to the fake Christmas tree store. They were $700. I'm not even joking. For a 6-foot tree, $500 to $700. Things in Australia, it's very interesting here because a lot of things are a lot more expensive, but then things that are like basic needs, like, Sean went in to get a prescription because he had like a bit of eczema, and they were like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, your cream is out of pocket. And Sean's like, okay. And they're like, it's out of pocket, and I'm so sorry, maybe we can, and he's like, well, how much is it? And they're like, $6.50 out of pocket, $6.50. And he went and got some blood tests just to make sure he's okay post-COVID. It costs $70 out of pocket.
That's
$70 out of pocket. And for us to even get healthcare here per month, just to like be kind of covered, just like as a like my kids and him are foreign, $120 a month
for everybody together.
Yeah, that's no $120 each. But I mean, in the States, it's like for a family of four is like $2,000.
Yeah. I want to say that's like what we probably
like $2,000 for four people. Depends on what coverage you get, But here it's like, so certain things are a lot less expensive, like things that are basic needs and basic rights and all, like almost nothing, cost you nothing. But things like buying a Christmas tree are like $700.
That literally makes no sense.
Sense. I feel like that's where the money, like everything's, it comes out of that. So it's like, you can get free healthcare, but it's kind of like if you don't need it, it's going to be a little more expensive.
I mean, that is, so it's like elective is like you get spots.
It's elective. Which I think is kind of probably better because, you don't have to, because we ended up getting a real tree, which costs $100. So you can find things that are less expensive, but a lot of goods and services are more expensive.
Oh my gosh, that's such a trip. But now you have to decorate the tree.
I know. I did it. I just did lights and baubles for now.
See, you're already one step ahead of the game. We've not even pulled, because we have one that we keep in the attic that we pull down and set up every year.
Right. Why haven't you got your tree out?
Oh, girl. Oh my God. It's such a pain. We have to do it though, but it's such a pain. Right?
I know. How are you feeling about Christmas? Are you kind of excited by it? Are you now kind of overwhelmed by the new variant? Like, what are you feeling?
So I am actually kind of excited about it because last year, we were stuck at home and like couldn't go anywhere. So I'm excited because we are going to visit my family in Texas. So I'm excited to see them for Christmas because it's been a couple years for Christmas now. I'm never excited for like the shopping aspect because I usually put it off and wait to the very end.
It's also expensive, like I'm at the point in my life where it's just like, yes, I definitely want to give, to my kids and stuff. But I think sometimes about like the money you spend on each other and their spouse. I don't know how you feel about this, but like, I don't want to waste our money that we've built together on just getting me gifts that I could buy any other time of the year. Do you know what I mean? Like, why do I need a Chanel hat on Christmas? I could buy a Chanel hat in March. Do you know? I mean, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm using Chanel as like a big gift. Like, why would you want a big gift on Christmas when you could buy it any other time? It's just because we're told that we should be giving gifts to each other. I don't know how you feel about it. Like, the kids are a different story. Yes, it's the magic of Christmas, and I get it. And giving friends, like, you know, it's lovely to see them, but like giving your spouse things that you guys can just buy together from your own money, because it's like all the same money. You know what I mean? It's like you end up here just buying yourself a gift, or he's just buying himself a gift. So I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel so. Here's what happens every year, because David's birthday is December 15th.
Oh, right.
So we kind of get
Sean's is the 1st of January. We get 2.
Is it? See?
Yeah.
So it's like they're Christmas babies, basically, right?
Yeah. So you're like, oh, you don't get 2 gifts.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, can't we just make it one? Like, make it one?
It's just one big gift.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, no, 2 gifts. So it's just funny because it's like every year I run into the same thing happens. I always say before Thanksgiving, I'm going to have everything sorted out and like already done, so that when we get back, you know, after Thanksgiving, you know, things are, you know, fine and sorted and done. And every single year I don't do it before Thanksgiving. And then I run into like what I'm dealing with right now, which is like stress, thinking, okay, not only do I need to get, you know, all of the Christmas stuff done, but then his birthday, you know, get something set up to like do something for that. And it feels like a lot of stress. You know
it does feel like a lot of stress. Right? It's weird. Someone said, like, do you feel anxious? And I'm like, well, actually, I don't feel anxious. I feel stressed, but I don't have time to think about anxiety because there's so much going on. Right. But I definitely feel more stressed about the holidays. And I also feel like you're meant to feel great. And I actually do feel good normally around holidays because there's a lot to do. And I love being around things where there's a lot to do. But to be honest with you, like I know that there's a lot of people in my life or friends who feel alone, and kind of, especially people who suffer from mental health issues around the holidays, they kind of feel ashamed that they feel sad. It almost makes it worse, you know, the holidays, because you're meant to, and you should feel great, and you should, you know, be running around like, you know, unicorns are coming out of your butt around the holidays. And a lot of people don't. They feel they miss people, or they're going through grief or loss or loneliness or whatever they are. And it's like these holidays definitely like perpetuate that.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you're saying that, because I was just actually looking at a friend's post. Particular friend is not close to her family. She's actually pretty much estranged from her family. And every year for Christmas, or like right around that time, she does like a sort of a friend, because her friends are sort of her family. She does like a friend's Christmas, which is kind of a good idea for people if they're, you know, like not close to their family. But you're right, it is hard if they're just feeling like totally isolated and alone. I mean, hopefully, you know, seeing people on social media, I know you and I try to make people feel included, and with our podcasts and stuff. I mean, hopefully there's places that they can reach out to. If it's not another person, then at least somebody online, or different groups or something where they can see they're not alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Roxy Soxy, I'm going to take my kid to her dance concert, which is like a 9-hour dance concert. I'm not even kidding. It finishes at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. There's 2. So there's the concert that goes for 4 hours, and then it starts up again.
What? And
I know.
The whole thing?
And then they say you can't leave. And I'm like, like, I'm going to leave.
You're like, you do the Pink Panther.
I'm like, there's no way I'm going to stay for like 8 hours. I'm going to watch my kid and get out of there.
Yeah, you got to sneak out. You got to be like,
yeah. Yeah, well, this was short and sweet. We were supposed to have a guest for you guys, but they had technical issues. So I've been up since 5, but I'm very glad that I got to see your face.
I know. We needed this. We needed some.
I know. We need to do a few more twofers. And if people want to let us know if they want to hear more twofers, because we think we're hilarious. Even if it's just you and I who think we're funny, we think we're funny. So,
I mean, like you said, we do have unicorns coming out of our butts.
We do. Wait, I have one question before you go. Would you rather a rhinoceros be shot out of your butt, or would you rather have a rhinoceros shoot into your butt?
Wait. Oh, out for sure. Out. Can you imagine that horn going inside your butt? How about you?
Yeah. Definitely out. You know, I mean, it's kind of like gross to like start in there, but you know, I'm feeling like out is probably the best bet.
Out's the only way. Out is the only way. I mean,
out is the only way for a lot of things. Out is better than in.
I would not welcome that rhinoceros guest in my butthole.
Yeah. Well, now that you have your beautiful dildo, maybe that will change.
Wait, am I like wrong? Dildo and vibrator are two separate things, right?
I don't know. Depends on how it's shaped. And if it buzzes. And if it holds you tight at night and snuggles to you and tells you sweet nothings and plays Boys to Men. So I don't know. There's a lot of different.
I think that's you.
Next time I see you, you'll be like, Tammin, I make love to you. And I'm like, what is that? And you're like, it's my vibrator. It plays music. Like you want me to. In 100 times.
Oh my God, I know exactly what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Oh, please. Again, it's a 4-day shipping. So what are you like? Why are you waiting? Oh, like, why haven't you already sent it? I'm waiting. You know what I said about gifts? I take that back. I'm ready. I'm ready to receive.
Again and again and again.
Yeah, I'm ready to receive a gift that keeps giving. We could go on for quite a while.
I mean, a boom.
Okay, guys, I'm out. So please don't forget to rate, subscribe, and comment. You can find us on Women on Top Official on Instagram.
And Women on Top Podcast on Facebook and our clubhouse group, Women on Top. And remember, guys, like she said, rate
subscribe, and comment. I love you. I am Tammin Sursock.
I love you too. And I'm Roxy Manning.
And we are Women on